Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper, and today I'll be doing my top 5 games that could appear at the Game Awards. Now, as of time of recording this video, the Game Awards are only a few days away, and with the Game Awards, not only are they a year sort of like a thing where games are given awards, whether it's their story, their combat, their characters, and as always which game is the best game of the entire year. But it's also a good way of showing us maybe some new games, or maybe some upcoming games that are in development, or maybe just a few months or so away from being released. And I thought maybe there's going to be some possible either some new games that are probably going to be announced, or some games that have been announced and are probably going to be showing off some new trailers and stuff like that, and how they could be hyped up for like the upcoming years, also of when they're going to be released. So for number 5 is the Elder Scrolls 6, and I feel like because the Elder Scrolls 6, which I think is being called Hammerfell, there was a teaser trailer like I think a few years ago, back in 2019, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but there was like a teaser trailer, and it was just basically just an establishing shot of some mountains and stuff like that, and it just said The Elder Scrolls 6 Hammerfell, I believe, and we haven't really heard. From what I know, haven't really seen anything or heard about anything about that since. So I like to possibly there could be a possibility of an official trailer for the game. Maybe there could be a possibility of sort of like a teaser trailer to the opening, maybe something like because I believe all the previous games have had us or a main character being in some sort of prisoner type area or situation, like with Skyrim. We were in this sort of like carriage, and taken to our execution before Alduin turned up. So maybe there could be a trailer like that where we wake up in this area and we've been taken off somewhere. It's like, when we've got nothing, maybe something like that, or maybe it could just be a story trailer. Maybe I'm not 100% sure, but it could be one of those two things. For number 4 is a teaser trailer for Crash Bandicoot 5. Now, Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. It's a really fun game. I highly suggest anyone who's got Switch or PlayStation 4, I believe, and I think it's also on Steam. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. To play Crash Bandicoot 4, because it's a really enjoyable game. It's a continuation from Crash 3, Warped, I believe, and that's a really cool continuity of two games that were released decades apart. And for Crash 5, there could be a teaser trailer, and maybe we could see, because I believe if you get everything in the game in Crash 4 and get the 106% true ending, you'll see that I believe one of the masks, Uka Uka, I believe that's his name, comes back to life, and it could be in this teaser trailer for Crash 5, and we can get to see both Uka Uka and Cortex sort of like talk about how they could get revenge on both on Crash and its allies. Maybe could be something quite cool, and maybe we could just see maybe towards the end of the teaser trailer, just Crash just waking up from a sleep or something. That could be something quite cool, and maybe see how the game would look like, possibly like maybe something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but that'll be something quite cool to see, because from what I've seen, I don't think there has been a trailer from the villain's perspective in terms of a video game. In that sort of sense, like, it would be cool to see a trailer from a bad guy's perspective, maybe. I don't know, but that's my personal opinion. For number 3 is Super Mario Odyssey 2. Now, Super Mario Odyssey, the original Super Mario Odyssey, it was a really fun game. I think it's like it's like a celebration almost of like a lot of Mario's history. Like you've got, you know, the costumes you've from like various Mario games. You've got the references to some other Mario games, like the pose whenever you get like say Moon when he does the hand poses from the from the various Mario 3D games like Odyssey, no, from Galaxy, Sunshine, and Mario 64. So yeah, and maybe for Galaxy 2, it could open up like maybe like let's say a while, let's say like a year or so after the events of the original game, and then we could see I don't know, Bowser again tries to use the moons or use the power of the moons to create his own theme park. I'm just throwing I'm just spitballing here, but it could be something like that where Bowser is just using the power of the moons to do something evil or something. It's Bowser. It could be literally anything, and it's up to Mario and Cappy to try and get to Bowser, and again going to different worlds or different areas of the world, and just collecting the power moons back from Bowser and his minions. That could be something quite cool to see, and maybe there could be the return of maybe one or two original kingdoms, maybe the Metro Kingdom, and maybe the Mushroom Kingdom is probably going to be in the next game if we ever going to get a next game, but maybe there could be like maybe one more additional world from the first game, or level or area from the first game that we could possibly see, and then we could see new areas of the game that we might not have seen before, and they are all based on certain areas or themes or whatever, like traditional Mario games have done, like with your fire areas, ice, water, whatever, and maybe there could be a combination of like a fire icy area or a fire underwater area. Maybe the possibilities are endless if there are going to be stuff like that. So yeah. For number 2 is a sort of final trailer for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and I feel like if there is going to be a trailer for Tears of the Kingdom or some kind of announcement, I feel like this will be the perfect time to do a sort of final trailer, because the game is being released in the next few months. I think it's being released in May, April time, or maybe March. I could be wrong with the details, but it's being released fairly soon. So I feel like if there is a sort of trailer being released soon, I feel like the Game Awards would be the best place for a trailer, and maybe a final trailer, and maybe we could see Ganondorf. Maybe I'm not saying that we haven't seen Ganondorf in the previous trailers, but maybe we can see Ganondorf probably maybe some time when he's trying to gain some power, maybe we could hear sort of a raspy voice, in the sense that he's still in his sort of mummified, cursed in quotation marks voice, and we could hear one of the first words that he says, maybe Zelda or Link or Hyrule or whatever that word is. It could be something raspy and sinister and almost not true, not pure. It's like unholy, that sort of thing, and that'd be something quite cool at the end of the trailer. And it could also maybe be mainly Ganondorf based. That'd be something quite cool to see, and that'd be something really fun. And for number 1 is Persona 6. Now, I really enjoy the Persona series. I've played all through Persona 5, 5 Royal Strikers, and the Persona Dancing games, and those games are fun. I have enjoyed all those games, and I feel like, and with the with Personas 4 Golden and 3 Portable being released in January, so basically just a month away, basically just a month and a few days away, I feel like the Game Awards could possibly show us a sort of teaser trailer for Persona 6, and my thoughts is that we hear Igor's voice, and it could be like, oh, we seem to have a new visitor to the room, and then then it'll be like a blank screen. We hear Eagle's voice, maybe not the words I said, but maybe something similar, and then the screen fades in to the Velvet Room, or maybe some concept of the Velvet Room, and we see Eagle and its new attendant, whoever that may be, and that'd be something quite cool to see, because the Velvet Room in the Persona series has always changed since Persona 3 onwards, even though in Persona 2 it did change slightly, but not too much. But the Velvet Room has always been a constant thing in the Persona series, and seeing a new form of it would be something quite cool to see, and seeing Eagle there and how the room would look like, as well as who the new attendant could possibly be, and what kind of tone the new Persona game could go. Because like all the Persona games are based on a variety of things, whether it's finding yourself, rebelling against society, that kind of thing. So whatever the Velvet Room would be, it's got to be fit the game itself and how we will use it in that particular game. Obviously, getting personas and stuff like that, but how it operates in story context and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's been my top 5 games that could appear at the Game Awards. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.